Welcome, and today we will look at a new experience package from ORBX which covers Samoa. This is a mini-region in many ways, akin to the Papua New Guinea scenery. The Papua New Guinea scenery covered only a portion of the island of New Guinea, focusing on Jackson's International Airport and the Kokoda Trail, with all of the bush strips therein. Since Pacific Islands are considerably smaller than New Guinea, a relatively more complete coverage is possible. We just took off from Pago Pago International Airport and are turning around to fly over the towns of Tafuna, where the airport is located, and Futiga. Pago Pago is the main airport for American Samoa. In addition to American Samoa, Western Samoa is also within the scenery coverage area. Now, it goes without saying that the upgrade over default scenery and FTX Global is extensive. They did an excellent job with the custom buildings and autogen. One thing I did notice, though, is on Tutuila, the island where Pago Pago is located, there doesn't seem to be as much 3D vegetation, despite what the photo scenery would suggest. Later in this video, we will end up on the island of Ofu, and the 3D vegetation coverage there is quite extensive. It seems that maybe a balance was made to keep performance even, since Tutuila and Pago Pago have many more buildings and 3D objects than the outlying islands. If that is the case, it was an excellent decision. Another note on performance: all autogen for this video is at very dense, and I still locked frames at 48, despite being in another frame rate intensive but beautiful aircraft, the Milviz B-55 Baron. For this flight, we are, as you can see, making numerous scenic circles over the island to get a good look at it. Once complete, we will head to the island of Ofu and land at Ofu Village Airport. In many ways, this scenery is in the spirit of Pacific Island Simulations' island sceneries. In fact, Pacific Island Simulations were the first ones to tackle Papua New Guinea in a meaningful way, and ORBX came in years later and provided a significant upgrade in the scenery techniques used. Although it must be noted, Pacific Island Simulations' Papua New Guinea package was their first release, and it was many years ago. Pacific Island Sims has moved on in a way, focusing less on small islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and more on Asia-Pacific commercial airports, with excellent results, like Manila, Chubu Centrare, and Xiamen. They do, however, have a significant body of work on the tiny islands and atolls in the world's largest ocean, and this superb effort from ORBX complements that, while taking it up a couple of notches in scenery complexity and design. Here we are, coming around and over the harbor of Pago Pago. This inlet is where the city of Pago Pago actually is located, Pago Pago being the capital and most well-known city in American Samoa. Note the nice cruise ship models in the harbor. The photo imagery is quite good, and clearly some significant color correction has been done to give it its vibrancy. Another thing to note is the land-water interface, which is a strong point of photo imagery, a point I tend to make frequently. Instead of just beaches and tidal flats, we can add coral reefs to the equation, showing that photo imagery of water is just as immersive as with land features. Now that we have checked out Tutuila, we will head out into open water, which is why I chose a twin-engine aircraft, towards the island of Ofu, about 70 miles away. Before we depart Tutuila and Pago Pago entirely, we'll pass over the small island of Aonuu, there to the left, coming from underneath the wing. One can see clearly that Aonuu is based around a volcanic crater. Now that we're nearing our destination of Ofu, you can actually see the island coming into view if you use the airspeed indicator as a reference point. Just follow it straight upwards and you'll see the island coming into view. The village airport on Ofu only has a 2,000-foot runway, so I hope that's enough for this Baron. Before landing, we will be circling the island. The other island next to Ofu, which you can now see behind it, is Olosega, and the two are connected by bridge. We're actually going to pass in between the two islands as we circumnavigate Ofu. You can also see the runway there. It's on the right edge of the island, kind of cut into the side of the coast there. Now that we've made it around the island of Ofu, we will set up for our approach. With our feet back on the ground, we can now admire some of the custom vegetation, which really adds to the tropical lushness of the scenery. Well done, Tim Harris and Ken Hall and your team, and I look forward to the next experience package, wherever that may be. If you liked what you saw, please hit like, and by all means subscribe. Later.